Welcome to BleedTV, the only podcast today's best shows and movies. I'm Zach.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Cash.
And tonight we have The Walking Dead, Season 8, Episode 13. This is Do Not Send Us Astray. Thoughts, Broheen, since you were lacking last week with your sudden eye injury.
And with your choral impersonation.
Yeah.
Coral! My Coral eye.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta be honest. I'm really starting to not care anymore. Unfortunately, I feel like we've gone over a lot of storylines pretty much. The only time I'm kind of captivated on the screen is when either Simon or Rick is focal point. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is just kind of dragging me around like a slog. I don't know. I read an article about like Negan fatigue and stuff like that. But I haven't even seen that much Negan this season, so it's like...
Yeah.
I don't see Negan being the problem in any sort of the way.
But a lot of the characters and a lot of the coincidences, especially in this episode, kind of turned me off. I'm like at my last strand of give a damn about Walking Dead, unfortunately.
I mean, I can kind of see that. There was like a lot of weird coincidences that they decided to roll with, like when the car came through and hit the bus exactly where it was reinforced. I don't know if y'all caught that, but I mean, just... There's
a lot of little, like...
There's tons of details.
Yeah.
Lucky that happened, or how the hell did that come together? The timing of things, it's...
Their plan wasn't even thought out. It was just like, hey, let's go and we should be able to blow them up.
Look, I'm gonna throw a little shock at you. I actually enjoyed this episode because it actually made me have a little care, and there was a little intensity, and there was a little kind of a holy crap moment
towards
going
the
on.
end. Like there was a lot. Like I was like, like we could be in some danger here.
Yeah, I really. This was the first time where walkers looked like a great zombie movie doing what they were supposed to do. You know, there wasn't like you didn't have to run, didn't have to do this. It was subtle stuff. It was in the dark. The way the camera hit a lot of stuff. The way they're visual. I mean, you didn't know it was Tobin until he was already biting into you. I mean, all kinds of stuff like that. I thought they did those parts really well. And I mean, like my wife and I were sitting there watching it, and she was like, "Oh God, oh," you know, like that. And so that's good, honest reactions to a scene that we haven't had reactions like that or that feeling in a long, long time for Walking Dead. The problem with that is that to get to those points, they make catastrophic, mistakes in continuity, and then like Jake said, it's just very lucky this happened, and this was very fortunate. This is how this went down, and different things like that. In which Walking Dead is one of the worst shows ever about the convenience of a storyline working this way for this result. You know, I mean, we talk about it all the time about we get a result, but we don't care how we got there. You know, and that's what the show lacks so much. But I'll be honest with you, this episode is one of my more favorite episodes of this entire season. It's mainly just because they actually have brought something we haven't seen or felt in a long, long time. That's just how I roll with it.
I don't mind your feelings on it. I just, you honed in on a scene that I had major problems with, which was the walkers in the house.
They turned so quick.
All these people.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
But all these people are sleeping inside the mansion out of fear of not being outside the mansion, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
They're all laying down in like these piles, like a shelter, you know what I mean? Yet, all the noise these walkers make, one dude rolls down the stairs. And it's not like they turned the volume down for the show. It was... No one even squeaks a fart.
No.
Or coughs. Or snores all of a sudden, you know what I mean? No one flinched.
You know,
and they're all
in
no
fear.
way the men are sleeping.
No.
They're like, all right, they're on their guard, you know what I mean? And then any woman in there that has a child.
Maggie's pregnant.
No, she's not.
Oh, I mean, that's fair.
Total horseshit at this point. I'm pretty sure that other baby they found, just somehow that's her baby now.
Yeah.
But yeah, what you're talking about with the Tobin stuff is like, all right, that was kind of cool. But then they let a guy roll down the stairs, and an entire pile of people don't flinch a muscle.
Correct.
And they ruined it to me. So once that happens, I put blinders on, a tunnel vision, like, oh, dog shit.
At least the walkers were biting other parts besides the neck in this part.
Well, here's the thing. You think about where you're talking about when that guy wakes up and rolls down the stairs. That was after several minutes of Tobin turning and biting a person, going out in the yard and getting another person who turned, and them coming into the house, and then that guy wakes up like that. Everything leading up to that was money to me.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I was okay with Tobin turning and biting the guy in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. Okay? Then the door is open, which the guy had opened, you know what I mean, before he gets bit.
Yeah, so I mean,
fine.
It's making sense.
So the chick walks up, fine. She gets bit. Dude rolls down the stairs. The front door to the house is open.
Yes.
For some ungodly reason.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
When everyone's on high alert.
Was it Henry?
And on lockdown.
Maybe.
No.
I mean,
no. The door's just open.
I was trying to give him a little
it's
leeway.
Just open and there's walkers streaming in. Now that's after a guy tumbles down the stairs.
I agree. And that's when things go
Yeah,
south.
It's just... So really we had 2 good bite scenes that made sense. And then the rest of it...
all horse crap.
You know, it was convenient that it would even be possible. You know what I'm saying? If Tobin gets that guy and then gets the woman outside, like, is it natural that they would immediately walk to the front door of the mansion? Or would they be wandering around waiting for sound?
Yeah. The other thing is, too, is that, you know, the woman...
Was she the head doctor?
No. What kills me is I've never... Have you seen this woman before, this episode? The one that talks to Sadiq like an asshole?
No.
Okay.
No, I have no idea who this lady is.
I like you. We introduce a new character, make her have a few great lines, and so on, and then she's fluff to die, right? Who does this remind you of? This reminds me of the blacksmith in the back of Maggie's car.
Ooh.
You know, the hell yeah, you know, and the sheep aids guy that, you know, guess what? We're going to introduce a character now who has speaking lines out of nowhere and so on, just for her to be walking outside when everybody else is asleep.
To get T-dogged.
To get T-dogged in the throat. Great line.
Got T-dogged.
Right, now, like you, and what you're saying is, it makes me, I can rip that apart, is that, think about this. If you're walking outside, you have just been attacked, and you know there's bad guys like that, the slightest twitch of a branch,
that's what I'm saying.
you're going to be on hyper alert.
Yeah.
So the idea that a walker who gets that gets up behind you to bite your neck is just, that's Ninja Gaiden. That's, you know,
stealth walker.
Stealth walker.
We always talk about it. All of a sudden, Tobin's not shuffling. He's not doing the normal walker sounds we always hear. Just, I mean, look at every kung fu movie where you telegraph where you're going to hit when you start screaming. Walkers telegraph themselves by only when you know there's no danger. Like when Rick's right there and there's a walker coming at him, they can make all the sound they want.
Yeah.
Because we know Rick ain't getting bit.
No.
But
just forearm shiver.
But one of these randos, you know, all of a sudden
Cannon fodder.
it's the guy getting his forearm bit on the tree walker. Remember? I mean, It's just, what is this crap?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I get so just down on this show after they just constantly beat this dead horse. You know, with I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to make it. I don't know what to tell them to do or how to fix it where I give a shit anymore.
I agree. All right, well, let's just break it up in a couple of things. First of all, I've got to ask y'all, what is going on with Morgan and his ghost that constantly keeps telling him the same line?
He's talking about Henry.
Yeah, it's got to be all...
He's telling Morgan, Henry's
not okay.
starting to go through what you went through.
I think that's a good explanation of it, or a good interpretation of what's going on.
He's like, because what's he keep saying? You know what it is.
Yeah, you know what it is.
He's telling him, like, hey, Henry's about to start
sit Henry
clearing
down.
like you did when you lost somebody. You know what I mean? So he's losing his shit.
But I also can't stand the Henry plot line.
Oh my God!
No,
I wanted to.
I was
shit on the
hoping
screen.
somebody would make him eat the barrel.
I mean,
unload the magazine. I was fine with watching a child just get blown to bits because of how terrible they made this part.
It's unacceptable that long-haired piece of garbage got out.
Yeah,
I just can't.
Well, now like he got the rifle. Like I mean, not only did he get out, he got armed. He's free. Like he came out scot clean. And Gregory with the 10-minute stare of what do I do? You pick up the
Let's
little
be
kid.
honest with our sales guy like that. Why did he open the gate?
No idea.
It's unnecessary.
I mean,
It's
you're
chicken wire.
chicken wire.
You
It's
could just
field
shoot through
wire,
it.
whatever like that. Okay, bang.
Yeah, just shoot through it.
Until the next person tells me who did it, bang.
Yeah, then it's shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? It's like chasing the chickens around a coop.
Yeah.
You know?
What are we going to do? Run up and make it a little bit easier? Bang!
You're going to throw your compadre in front of you? That's fine with me.
Yeah.
This was
It's completely asinine.
Once again.
Well, why did he have the key to the lock?
How did he get it? Yeah.
Another great question.
once again, how convenient that he opens the gate, he has an assault rifle that's just laying about in the mansion, and one of the chicks that's a prisoner happens to turn. But we never saw her get hit with anything or any kind of rounds or an arrow or any of that type of stuff. Just for some reason she's getting sick and turning.
Yeah. I mean, none of it made sense.
All
with
of the
this kid.
convenience had to pile into a little pile for this to happen.
Just so we get 7 of the people to join the hilltop.
Think about all the things that had to happen. Henry had to sneak out.
Well, Henry had to find a rifle.
Sneak out, find the key to the lock, which I would assume is up Maggie's ass,
Yeah, because there's only one key.
and change in the pen itself.
Mm-hmm.
Walker's turning in the mansion itself.
Well, one turning while they're in there.
I mean, all the shit has to happen for this to succeed.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable. This doesn't happen.
It's not reality.
It,
Not even close.
It's like I feel like I'm bagging on a fictional show. This is fairy tale shit, but it's like, come on, man, put the effort in, make it plausible.
Yes.
First things first, these guys, they don't have their hands tied. That is chicken wire. They could reach over the top of it. Have you seen how tall it is?
Yeah.
They could climb out. You telling me none of these people are risking climbing over the chicken wire and then running?
I mean, probably not,
now,
just
here's the
because
other
it's
thing is
usually
that-
guarded.
Aren't there people in the walls guarding all the time?
Yeah.
Wouldn't somebody see the kid in there sitting there hollering at him, like, who killed my brother? Who's opening the gate? Hey, don't do that, Henry.
Especially after you just got attacked. And so,
Right.
for the,
Obviously, the fence is not guarded because Henry's just walking around with a rifle right there, pointing it at these guys.
correct.
Now, they did show that there was one guy that was sitting up there in the tower
Turned.
that had turned.
Yeah,
But
he
you
had an
can't tell
arrow
me-
sticking him to the wall, I think.
There was You can't tell me there was only one
Guy
guy on
watching the
guard after you just got attacked.
If it is, then the hilltop deserves to be taken.
And not
Yeah,
to
really.
mention, they always have guards watching the prisoners.
Yes.
Always. Remember, they took guard duties. It would be Morgan
Shifts.
sitting there watching.
Yeah.
Then Carol's like, I'll take over. And all that shit.
Not when Henry's going, though.
All of a sudden, no one's there.
Watching
No one's
the
keeping up with the
prisoners.
fucking psycho kid. You know what I mean? It's just like,
And
all of this crap had to happen for this to succeed.
And the fact that we all know Henry's going through this. Carol and Morgan have been devastated by what's going through with Henry, and no one decides to keep eyes on him at any point in time, even though he tried to get a gun from Ezekiel earlier in the episode.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
I don't know.
There's nothing that makes sense for how we got there, and that's the biggest problem with it.
Yeah. It just, I don't know. Yeah. He could beat this to death with all the little details. All right, well, let's get to this. Simon and them show up. Now, was it me? And God, I'm just constantly finding things after I sit there and think about it, is that it took him a hell of a long time to get there. It was dark by the time we get there. Do you think this was just part of the plan to attack at night?
It has to be because
They always do their attacks at night when it comes
Okay.
to the hilltop
All
for
right.
some reason.
I think the only reason this even worked was them coming in was because it was a night attack. So I didn't have a problem with it. I was just I did have a few people on social media like, well, it never takes them that long to get from point A to point B. Why did it have to be a dark? And I was like, I think it's just playing of how they want to do the attack and so on. So I agree with you on that.
but I
Well,
have no
also,
idea.
they were stalled by Rick's attack on Negan in the
Correct.
middle of the city.
Correct.
True, but I mean, it was still completely daylight.
Of course it was, Cash. I'm just saying.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, you
Walking
give him
Dead,
the
you can
benefit of
turn
the doubt.
dark in a blink. Let me tell you.
Yeah, don't forget,
Oh, time doesn't exist. Daylight savings happened right there.
There was
and
an episode in Alexandria where Rick is running from one side of Alexandria
Yep.
over to the other side, and he gets attacked by a couple walkers.
Yeah,
that
we
were in
know.
there, and it turned pitch black
with it
during
during the run.
During the jog.
run.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, like,
It was the episode where his girlfriend gets her face bit off.
Yep.
I mean, it's wow.
And her child.
Yeah, that's the one where Carl loses his eye too.
Yep.
Yeah, pitch black like that. Anyway, all right. I do love Simon again, like Jake said. He comes in and goes, "I was sure all planning on giving that gate a big old sloppy kiss," and da 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 da. There's some good lines.
He chews up the screen, man. I don't care what he's doing. Even when he makes sense or doesn't make sense, I'm like, I just like having this guy on screen.
Yeah, I was full on with Simon again. Like everything for I didn't think it made sense for his character to be doing this. I didn't care. As soon as he got on that walkie-talkie, I was like, "Give me all of the Simon."
And I liked that he was true to what a bad guy would say. F those 38 people.
Yeah.
You know, 38 bullets or not, I don't care. They got to handle their own shit. You know, and
Man, he pulled out the Trump line.
Yeah.
I prefer my soldiers to not get caught. You know, John McCain's over there going, Jesus. It's just like, I couldn't believe it.
I thought I was done with these debates. What's going on?
Yeah, I think that was a straight pull from Trump's lips.
Had to be.
I prefer my people that don't get caught.
And if they do, to handle their own shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Never joined the saviors.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Save you until you're taken.
Yeah.
No longer.
But I mean, if you really have someone captured, can you ever trust those people again? I wouldn't think so.
So what do you think about that guy? The guy that's been on Maggie's ass for seasons now.
Yeah.
I mean, do you just feel double cross on this guy at some point, or do you think this is legitimate? Are they going to love interest these two? I mean, what is this?
I don't think there's any way to love interest Maggie, but
I think Maggie is, without
a barren wasteland of love now.
I mean, maybe with Negan there's a chance, but outside of that,
no.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, fine, but
I don't see him double crossing. I think he wants to join the ever expanding list of
okay.
main
Well,
characters.
we found out it wasn't just him. There was another group of guys.
Yeah.
They're trying to shut the gate, so there's more.
There's like 7 of them.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just curious what they're doing with this guy. Are they building him up to have a decent death for a character?
Basically.
You know,
the only reason you introduce somebody who gets the extra talking lines is for you to die a horrible death later.
yeah.
I mean, think about it. Name, everybody has their time. Tobin lasted way longer than I thought he would.
Oh God, I thought Tobin was going to be going to be used for an Alexandria death. Remember, because they kept building him up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's dead for sure.
Yeah.
They waited this long.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think this dude will be like a Tobin. I think he's going to last until close to the end of the series.
He just replaced Tobin. We got he's off the payroll. This guy's on the payroll now, and he's cheaper. It's like the Trump plan.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Tobin, your price is getting a little high. Time to get axed.
Yeah, really. All right, so I need y'all to think about this. How many trucks showed up when you saw them coming into the compound? You're right in front of.
Okay, I was going to have this conversation with y'all too.
I want to know
because in the city, when Rick attacks Negan's car, I feel like there's 5 trucks.
I felt like there was 5, and I saw less than 50 guys standing there. They're like hold the perimeter right here while we go check on Negan. You remember that? They showed you
they're all
people.
trapped inside of
for Negan.
Yeah,
right.
You know?
There was, man,
I'd give 50 tops.
50 tops. Okay, we can agree on that. All right, so we're talking 5 trucks, 10 to 15. That's 10 plus.
They have a couple box trucks.
Yeah. All right. Now think about this. Daryl rolls up in his motorcycle with his MP5 on a stick.
What kind of defensive plan is this?
No, I think Daryl was just trying to get inside.
Yeah, I think that was all part of the plan. It was just to open the gate, and it was bait. I mean, I had a huge debate about this. I actually like this part. Like, the Daryl comes in, sweeping, lays down a bunch of fire, kill as many as you can, and runs into the place, and that makes people, whatever plan they had to attack this, they're like, oh, the gates are already open.
Yeah.
And so it makes you act on instinct of, well, our objective is already open, let's take it while we have the opportunity without thinking we're going into a trap.
I mean, that's fine and dandy, but you're risking Daryl for this?
Daryl's risking Daryl.
Yeah, Daryl's risking Daryl. That's his old MO.
Yeah, but I mean, okay.
So let's do our count now. I rewind this. 4 or 5 guys look like they get mowed down there.
I think at least 4 I saw
just
go down.
And they just drop like they're hot.
46.
Yeah. All right. So they do all that. Everybody clicks down. And then Dwight has his little conversation of, you sure you want to do this? This is not what he wants. He's still out there. And he's like, this isn't the time to think, it's time to act, blah, blah, blah. Better to ask for forgiveness than it is to,
Great line for a villain.
Which is, yes, all the money. So they go in. And when they get there, first thing in there is a grade 4 truck that has at least 7 or 8 guys in the back of it, plus the driver, and Dwight lay down in the seat. Okay, because Dwight was in that truck.
All these people are dead.
Yeah.
All right, so 7 or 8 of them just die horribly. Because you saw Carol, Ezekiel, all of them automatic fire.
Bottlenecked.
There's zero survival. This is a kill box.
Yeah.
It's a correctly formed kill box, unlike the previous ones we've had in other episodes.
Down to 40 generously now.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's at least 10 folks. Okay, so there's that. So then they back up. Well, then we have the counter assault of we're going to lift up our bows and arrows and just start heaving arrows everywhere.
Legolas's all over in the
now you have to understand
group.
something. The show was trying to show you that there was no light.
Mm-hmm.
The only light that was out there was the headlights. You know what I mean? And so think about what light was getting through when you have a bus that's blocked the vehicle that has lights on, and there's only one vehicle behind it or two. There's almost no light going into this situation, and they're shooting arrows and hitting people at balconies, windows, and different things in the area.
Behind trucks.
Over
everything.
a bus. Over a bus.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
I thought this bow and arrow shit was whack as hell. I ain't gonna lie.
Because shooting a bow and arrow is a very difficult thing. Like...
Well, yeah, the chances of somebody even getting grazed by one... When you're
shooting a bow and arrow under fire, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With no vision.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of strange. Given they were at the upstairs balcony, and maybe you saw where fire was coming from, and you're shooting in the fire, I'll give it that plausibility. I will, 100%.
I was okay with the 2 people that got hit on the gate, standing on the wall.
Yeah.
But people were getting hit behind Maggie at the porch of the mansion.
Yeah.
I was like, huh?
So that right there was really, wow. You're going to have to shoot at least 30 arrows over there, and you might hit 1 or 2 people grazing them.
Yeah, if you get if it ricochets off the
something, So I thought it was a little. I understand what they were doing because yes, you had to show that we had infected weapons hitting people. 100%, I get that. But again, there were 6 automatic rifles in this kill box. No one should have been able to go around the bus, go through the gates without even being annihilated by
They showed 2 or 3 times. Where they were like, walk in, all the guns start fire, and they all kind of like run around like chickens with their heads cut off and escape.
Yeah.
When it was so stupid, it hurt me. When they come from behind the bus, because it all goes quiet, and they're just all on a pile.
Yeah, in
just
one
like,
spot.
And he's just like, real quiet now. I'm just like, Simon, you are making me angry for the first time ever on this show.
Yeah.
And
everyone knows you're in here, Simon.
I'm just like, where do you think they went, Simon? Like, what do you think's going on? And they just all stroll right on out.
Well, not only that, right before that, it shows them shoot all these headlights out. And I'm like, what headlights were on in the place? They're shooting vehicles that you can't see headlights from.
Yeah.
And they're behind the bus.
And that's the only time we had accuracy from the hilltop.
Yeah.
was hitting these...
Well, Tara was in action. You know what I mean? Everybody was shooting, but actually Tara was over there going, dink, dink, dink.
But they showed a close-up of a headlight getting shot out. For what? I don't know what this was for.
To reiterate that,
it was supposed to be pitch black outside.
And?
Again, where would you see the headlight? The bus was in the way.
Who cares? They wander out like...
Oh, yeah. It's like Night of the Living Dead. Yeah.
Just lemmings. Just wander out in the middle of the field. Now... We know already that there's people in the windows.
Yes.
Just have their sights trained on them. And most of them are trained right on Simon's mustache.
Yes. I mean, that thing is unmissable.
There's
the guy whispering out there, take him out.
It's like, it's the one that's out there clearly leading the pack. They would mow that one down.
In a heartbeat.
Not to mention, Maggie wants him more than any of them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, kill the mustache motherfucker for sure. If we don't get any of them, get that one.
Yeah. It's like, okay, we know Negan's not here.
No, he's got time to say, I don't want anyone to get away. Y'all go around that side, and you go around that side, and all right. And we're just going to take slow steps forward. I'm like, I mean, no cover the whole way up there.
This is a war zone.
But I'm just saying, we see 8 windows, 8 shooters, automatic weapons. Those people survive. We see 5 or 6 people go down.
Y'all remember when Ezekiel's crew, 150 cal, one automatic machine gun took out 25 people in a field
from 100 yards.
8 MFers with automatic rifles can't hit 2 people in a crowded field
at 30 yards.
I mean, like, where's the consistency?
From the high ground. With their elbow posted on the windowsill.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is perfect. I don't even have a kick.
You have something holding
You
the
could
barrel
put your
down.
hand over your eyes and spray out there, and you'd hit more than what they did.
I don't get it. This makes no sense. None. Daryl took out an entire biker gang with 1 missile.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Not only that, Daryl is on a motorcycle
Mowing people down.
mowing 4 or 5 people down in front, but 8 guns can't hit the broadside of a barn,
and the thing
wide open field.
and they didn't use what they could have used. 1 Molotov cocktail in the middle of that pile.
I was praying for a Molotov anywhere just because to see that flame coming through.
Yeah, it would have been perfect. Not only it could block an exit with fire, you know,
It illuminates your
chicken
target.
shoot. I mean, just insane. But it doesn't matter. They didn't need it. They had 8 gunmen, including the other ones that jump up from behind the truck when the headlights come on.
And not even only that, because then when they do get away, they run into Rick's crew, and they don't get anybody.
Yeah,
Rick runs in.
Rick kills more people with his hatchet than he does with an AK.
Yeah, because he runs
What
in
he
with...
walks in and does like his usual Rick Grimes of, let me sprint 30 rounds at nothing and drop this mother and pull out my hand weapons.
Well, it's not only that, like...
He's pistol whipping people, killing more.
He took like 18 steps too many just to like get into range so he could spray the 1 clip.
I'm willing to bet that his hatchet and the butt of his gun have a higher kill count than bullets that come out of that gun.
He doesn't
Probably not
deserve-
more than the actual bullets of the anaconda.
Yeah.
'Cause he's killed a lot of stuff with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the hatchet's got a pretty high count. You remember when he goes crazy?
Oh, yeah.
Mad?
Yeah.
And he just goes out there and starts hatcheting?
I mean, and this hatchet's only got like, what, 2 seasons in the book so far?
I remember even when Lori dies, he goes in there and just starts hatcheting every walker he sees.
Yeah.
And then we have no idea what to do with Sadiq.
Okay, so during this skirmish, all right, poor Tobin takes a full blade to the belly.
Gut slash.
And just, I mean, like, slash, stab, you know,
A gutting.
you know, just a straight up. Falls, he's bleeding, you know, Sadiq comes to his aid. That's great. After he gets his ass chewed by Nurse Ratchet, you know, who we never seen or know before, blah, blah, blah. And so basically, remind me, how did the Saviors, they just ran right back to the same gate they came in, got in their vehicles and left, correct? And there was at least 30 of them that ran back out there and took, what, 2 or 3 vehicles?
There was way more than alive that were alive still that I thought should be.
Yes.
Way more.
I mean, I think they had more alive than even came into the thing.
So Rick didn't have a group. Rick had the other satellite guys, like the people that were watching, honking their horns. So there was only like 5 coming in, but they all had auto rifles. I just don't see where these people ran through Rick's group.
I don't either. And here's the other part. Did y'all notice that Jerry had no screen time other than
Digging holes.
no that no it's on now, or like, you know, he has that one
Yeah.
line where they're like that. Other than that, he digs for you. You never see him in action the entire time.
Nope.
The
I don't think
entire episode he is MIA. I'm like, what the?
Oh, and we are gently grazing over the fact that Daryl and Simon just wander through open areas, behind tents, behind fabric tents,
Yes.
while Daryl just watches them.
Not only that Simon has decided to not use a firearm and go Rick style with a hatchet
To
You
get
know,
Tara.
Yeah,
to get Tara.
But he was like, "No, you get this one, but you got to save me the next one."
No, he was like, do you want to take this one? And D was like, no, I'll take the next one. It's like, well, could really use some cooperation here, doing all the heavy lifting.
And so,
Yeah, I don't remember.
all right, so then my boy Dwight just pops up, like you're saying, why, you know,
Yeah,
Your
as
boy
Simon's
Daryl's
about
got
to
the
take
front
it.
row seats and popcorn and a cola
Daryl's literally tracking him
with the
in like
crossbow.
a red dot.
I don't know, Daryl. Maybe just take the shot
Yeah.
We know Daryl can hit a
Squirrel at 400 yards.
through a wire fence
through 2 chain link fences into a motorcycle tire
while blindfolded, hopping on one leg.
from, as far as I can tell, 500 yards.
Without looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So Dwight shoots Tara. Tara takes this bolt. Okay.
No, an arrow.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
I mean-
Dwight switched to a bow and arrow, compound bow.
Yeah.
Okay, and gets hit. And did you see how she like slowly falls? Like this is her life is over. She takes it. And she's like, oh, and then to the ground.
She probably thought she was going down just like her girlfriend.
yeah. Oh,
Poetic
Too
justice.
And then when the fight is over, it's just a scratch.
Yeah,
It's just a scratch.
it's like Monty Python. It's a flesh wound.
It's a scratch. It hits her in the shoulder.
Yeah.
We see it.
It's like through like half of it's hanging out of it.
So,
Not
I mean, shatter the shoulder blade or
sever a couple veins.
that bone that's in that region.
Yeah, really. Your arm would be in a sling for a long time. And she's like, it's a scratch. That thing was sticking out of her.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like,
Tara, we see the arrow. Like,
yeah, really.
So are we? Dwight clearly shot this at her to save her.
yes.
Correct. Yeah. He didn't have infected weapons.
He didn't dip his
shot
weapon.
her with that. to
Presumably, he didn't dip his weapons in the walker blood.
prevent- Correct.
We can assume that.
Well, that's the whole reason at the end she's
I
like,
know.
I'm not sick and all that
I
stuff.
know.
Well, no, and that's what made the terror scene at the end so tense for me. Was
We
like
gotta talk.
I was like, "Uh-oh."
Wait, I'm not feverish. What?
That's what they all say.
Carol closes the
We just
door.
better to get it over with.
Like, they should have just had Carol walk in with some flowers and everything. Just be like, "Tara, we need to talk."
Look at the flowers, baby.
Can I get a moment alone?
Bunch of these pansies and tulips.
Oh, that'd be sick.
That would have been awesome.
Call in the cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just see Leon walk in. The women, no kids.
So, all right. The battle is over. Simon and them escaped.
Somehow.
Rick apologizes profusely that he tried and it didn't work.
I had to try.
Maggie. So here's another thing too. Maggie goes in there and shows all the grave scene, graves of all the people they've lost. But then they also show the truck of the bad guys, and there ain't 5 bad guys in the back of that truck.
5 to 7, I'd say.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We know that at least 20 MFers died, from gunfire. At least we hope. And we don't. I guess we just let them outside rot.
Who gets those jobs? All right, we're gonna need y'all to lay on top of each other in this back of this truck just to look like bodies.
I
It's
mean,
like
Probably
extras.
just a bunch of dummies.
Those are the grips on set and everything. Like, hey,
You want your scene?
Yeah,
you
Dirty your
credit?
shoes up. Make it
here's your
look.
SAG card. We just need to see your booted feet hanging out of the back of this truck.
You don't throw a lot of blood on you. Just get ready.
Yeah.
No costumes though. What you got on?
Real simple stuff. Basically free
In
money.
the blazing heat out here.
Yeah.
Earn that sandwich.
You ever seen how Rick sweats? Imagine that with 2 other people on top of you.
Oh God, not worth it.
Again, they got the curly haired friend guys out there digging this hole by himself, which would take him 27 years to dig a hole big enough for the 7 bodies in the back of this truck.
I like the idea though. He looks at all the bodies while he's digging. He's like, "Oh fuck this." He's going to take one hole.
Oh,
all of them are
100%.
going.
I'm,
We're
thinking,
gonna stack them high.
Can I get a match?
I'm stacking you vertically.
Burn
Like,
this down a bit. Ashes will. Shallow grave with the ashes.
We got any gasoline left?
Oh,
If y'all really like this truck, I'll take it all out.
can we light it on fire and just let it set off?
Yeah, really, I'd be like,
The
think
rolling
I'm
heat?
digging a hole for all these bastards?
No.
Sheesh.
Okay, so the battle's over. The night we talked about the walkers earlier, and Cash brought up this point. Carl got bit, and it took him days to die. from
Well,
his
one
bite.
really long day, compared to how the.
Well, no, there's scenes with him where he's waiting for his dad. He's writing letters.
Oh, I mean, he's playing with his
looking at
daughter and
things.
everything,
He's
or the
playing the whole
sister.
9 yards. He's able to have this conversation with Negan at the gate. They run around, and then he makes it to another whole day before he dies at daylight of the next day at the church.
It's a day and a half for Carl. Because remember, they actually track the time. He goes to get Sadiq, gets bit. He comes back. He takes a shower. He goes and plays with the kids. He starts writing his letters and stuff like that through the whole day. Remember? Setting it all up for Negan to show up.
So it's 2 days for him to die.
Yes.
2 days. These jokers right here get grazed or hit by an arrow with something or whatever like that, and they die hours later.
Not even hours, I don't think, really.
Well,
It showed an alarm clock. It showed him going to sleep and then waking up 2 or 3 hours later.
Okay.
And then his death. So it was hours.
they show Tobin going to sleep. 2 hours later,
You see him breathe and all of a sudden stop.
he dies. Well, no, he dies. Then 2 hours later, he turns.
Correct.
Okay. But still, Tobin makes the most sense. He had a terrible wound.
Yeah, one you could die
But some
from.
of these people just had simple arrow wounds. And they're flipping.
Yeah, I mean, they had some terrors.
The guy that falls down the stairs, he had an arm wound.
Yeah, he had nothing. Like,
A grazing. A flesh wound.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in bad shape when he was talking to Maggie, but it wasn't because of the wound or anything.
No, they were making him look feverish.
Yeah.
And, and deep-socketed and pale. So, he was already turning.
And so are we supposed to presume that it gets in the bloodstream faster? Like their blood in your bloodstream or something? But
Well, no. Remember we talked about this in the previous
We
cast,
did.
in the comic book and everything else, which was way more consistent. These people get hit, and they start developing a fever later, and then they have these moments with their families, and they slowly start dying off. And in the comic book, Rick was one who was supposed to get shot with an arrow, not Tara, and everybody thought Rick was going to die. So that's where they remixed all this whole deal and everything else. And so they're supposed to have that moment of, holy crap, everybody goes to visit Rick, this is saying goodbye, because a few people have started feeling the fever and they realize what's happened. In this one, they did it the opposite of, they all wake up and start killing people and so on. That never happened in the comic book. Nobody turned and started eating other people. Everybody who was wounded was in an infirmary, and they started noticing they were fevering and slowly die, and it was really sad because a lot of them were family people who had their wives and children had to watch the guy die from it, and so they just remixed it. There's no way a guy who had a graze of a weapon on his forearm dies in the same night. It just doesn't happen. Don't give me Carl of 2 days with a bite, and this guy gets a scratch from a bow and arrow or whatever, and that's all she wrote for him.
yeah,
That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't.
Especially after we've seen Rick literally have blood pour into his mouth before. Gore.
Yep.
You know what I
we just saw
mean?
Negan with the blood being poured onto him and stuff. He was in a car accident with a bucket of Walker blood
Right.
in the car with him.
The classic is like 28 days later when a single drop of blood
Lands in homeboy's
lands
eye.
in his eyeball. And he turns in seconds. Now, that's a different style, but I'm just like, fastest way to your bloodstream, eyeball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, we've seen just straight gore. How many headshots next to each other? How many times have they been keeping them off of them just to put the gun to their head and shoot? You know what I mean? And all that just fall on their face and shit.
Yeah.
None of the consistency works. I wish they just would have made it harder to turn. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be a bite.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like, really anything besides just going back and forth with the blood that we have been doing with it. Because we've been using the blood in fear recklessly.
And even the gore on the weapons, I can, okay, fine.
Maybe, but like that's just...
But like an arrow, I look at it like, man, how much did you get on that thing? You know what I mean? How much you get on the tip of an arrow that you shoot?
I mean, if you soak it. Like, I mean, if you soak all of them in it, but then you still have to put it on there that... Yeah, there's
I don't know,
good
man.
with an arrow.
Some of the stuff, I'm just kind of like, okay. We've seen them literally cover themselves in gore to get away from things. Why would you trust that if it's that easy?
Yeah, there's no way you could ever condone letting anyone put Walker blood
Rick
on you.
is sweating enough. His pores are open enough to like soak in whatever gore is on him.
Yeah.
You know,
I know. The rules they run by, there is no rules.
Yeah.
It just, they make it up as they go.
yeah, it's
There
not
was-
science, so screw it.
There was no reason for. The other thing is too is that they all turn same time. Okay, whatever. Here's the other part. Tobin bites that chick, right, and she dies.
She turns immediately
She turned immediately.
because she's coming through the front door of the mansion first.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's right there beside him. When going rolling in there, so that didn't make sense.
I didn't even catch that.
So I noticed that immediately because she's the second person right behind Tobin walking into the place.
Well, no, it makes sense if you think about what happened at the sanctuary. You know, when they're killing them and they're waking up off the ground.
That's true. When they had that ambush in the beginning.
Yeah. And then Ezekiel's people, they start to turn after the 50 cal knocks them out and stuff. It's like, okay, I guess.
30 minutes later, they're up. Yeah.
Once again, couldn't have been 30 minutes when they come in. Tobin bites her. They come in the mansion front door. I mean, that wasn't 30 minutes.
No.
No, that was immediate. Like, I mean,
It's
3
like
minutes
it's
max.
like bit, coming in.
But hey, when you get
Back
when you,
up, when
you get that jugular bite just right.
Oh, Tobin's straight neck biter.
Oh yeah,
That's the only thing
yeah,
he bites.
man.
it's the buffet and
That's the
everything.
only female neck she was getting.
Yeah.
Carol put the kibosh on him.
Ooh.
I felt so bad. I felt so bad for Tobin, like trying to express his love, and I was like,
Take it
oh,
easy
she's
on
a
him.
robot.
I was
Yeah,
pretending
don't take
the
it
whole
easy on
time.
me. Yeah.
I was just pretending. Damn. Don't take it easy on me or nothing.
I'm just dying over here.
And shout out to Carol, like every man on the show in love with her.
Oh, she's an oak. I mean, like much wider.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was. Ooh, good lord.
Have we covered all this dog shit episode? Still love it, bro?
I mean, like I said, I enjoyed seeing the visuals and some different parts of it. I did. I mean, yes, anything Walking Dead, we can chew up, spit out, and say it's absolute horseshit. That's for 90% of every episode. I just enjoyed parts of this one that it actually gave you a little bit of holy crap moment.
There were some feelings and stuff, and when we did walk in to see Tara, I was like, I'm a little worried for Tara.
I wasn't. I knew as soon as Dwight shot her, I was like, this is a way of saying I'm saving your life. And they're going to come to that realization.
And you see it. Look at everybody else that had any kind of wound. They're green, pale, sweating, they
Dying.
got deep eyes. They look terrible. Tara's in full makeup. She's dry. Looks normal. They've already just laid it right out for you. She's not turning.
Well, not only that, they all walk in like they're about to tell her goodbye. And you can obviously look at her and be like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with her.
Yeah. Look, think about what we just saw Father
They
Gabriel
all
a minute
turned
ago.
last night. And she's still asleep in the master bedroom over here.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't make sense. They should have walked in with guns ready. You know, where is she? Bam, bam, bam. Just dropping her like it's hot. Hey, guys.
If I wasn't mistaken,
Hey, drop her off at Oceanside. See if we can get like some kind of treaty going at this point.
I thought she was in with the kids at first. Yeah. Because there was a couple of people standing in there and stuff like that. I thought they were guarding the children.
But no, just
You know,
napping.
the two babies. Little ass kicker and the rando baby.
Maggie's kid.
Guys, you know what would have made this so awesome? And which being like that is that instead of what Henry did, scratch that out of the episode right there, all together. Have him come and he's like, I'm protecting the house, and he knows that all these people have turned, and he knows that Tara got shot, right?
Just deuces her
and
right
he comes
there.
in there and he goes, I'm doing you a favor. He just blows her away right there.
Pulls
That
Carl.
is
Yes.
how you end the episode of watching Tara's brains against the back, headboard, and she was completely healthy.
And the bullet just going through, hitting Rosita, and 2 for
Wait,
1.
I'm okay.
If she dies, she dies. Jesus, Henry. That escalated quickly.
That is how you end an episode of Walking Dead.
Maybe we should leave rifles just laid in duffel bags anymore.
Really, I mean,
Yeah, we'll just leave this laying around.
Yeah.
Not like there's
Next
like
to the
50,
clock.
There's a
50 kids running around.
walking around.
Full automatic.
Fully semi-automatic assault rifle right there.
In these troubled times of gun debate,
How
they thought this
careless.
was the episode.
Yeah.
They should just let's
one
just
out
leave
for
an
him.
assault rifle laying around. No big deal.
Somebody else brought this up to me on social media. Does it make it funny that everybody's gun's a full auto?
Oh yeah, even
You
the
know what I
pistols.
mean? Even
The pistols are mobile.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure
The
Rick's
Anaconda.
revolver is full auto.
Oh yeah, it's at least fully semi-automatic at this point.
And I'm super glad he found unlimited ammo
Yes,
for his Anaconda.
I'm
sure those
he
are
finds
just-
it for an AK.
So prevalent. Just find those 45 long Colts anywhere. It's just cowboy killers he's out there with. Just like, Jesus, man. Yeah, they got it all worked out in this show, bro. I see why you like it so much.
If y'all can see the look on Jake's face right now as he's
man.
throwing this shade.
We'll take a picture of it. Hold on.
Yeah.
For the Facebook page. Guys, what did y'all think? We'd love to know. Oh.
That's what's great about the show. Don't think.
Walk into it mindless.
The writers
Like the
don't.
walker.
Why should we?
Did y'all enjoy it as much as we did? You know, we'd love to hear from you. We're at BleedTV Podcast at Gmail. If you want to send us your hate mail, and as well
Title
as
it Jake. Jake's eyes only.
for that
Subject line.
Jake. Of course, we're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. You know, tell us what you think. If we're way off, whatever. If we're right on the money, love to hear it, man. You know, we love getting emails. We have several every week from different people. I'm gonna get a few not so much love hate mail.
Yeah.
I guess you want to call it. I don't want to call it hate. They had their reasons for their replies.
Justified disgruntledness.
Yeah,
Negativity.
But the funny thing is that they continue to listen, which I applaud them and said, "Hey, I'm all about debating, and I enjoy talking to them." You know, and so some of our best fans are people who started off with "you motherfuckers,"
Yeah.
you know, what you know, and then we have a good conversation, and voila, you know, they see the light. You know, in
Put down a
Jake's
little bit of
terms.
Southern charm and throw Jake at him. And
Yeah, you know, we would tell them we slap Jake every once in a while, and it makes them pretty happy. But anyway, other than that, guys, I think we're just going to call tonight, and we only have 3 episodes left this season. And easy with the celebration over there, bro.
Oh, no. I was devastated. 3 too many.
Gosh, yeah. But other than that, we'll just catch y'all next week. This is BleedTV. I'm Zach.
I'm Jake.
I'm Cash.
Later.